Did you guys see the Sifu game?
The what?
Sifu.
Oh yeah, Sifu. That game looked like Absolver. I don't know.
It's from the creators of Absolver. So
Oh,
it looks
okay.
Oh, yeah, I did see that one.
heavy focused on martial arts, and it looks like a lot of blocking and a lot of like just like Absolver. And Absolver was pretty cool, but and if it's like fit into a good like single player, I think I could play that.
You know,
That
I kind of like games like that because they're hard to play, but when you pull off some crazy combos and like knock out like 3 dudes in a row, you feel like a badass. You feel like an action hero in like a Jackie Chan movie or something.
That shit reminds me of that Asian movie, and where he's in the apartment building, a tall ass apartment building, like 1,000 floors, and he has to fight his fucking. What's the name of that movie? That shit was pretty good.
Old Boy. You're thinking of Old Boy with the hallway fight scene, right?
No. I think he's talking about that scene was fucking awesome.
He was a cop.
In the trailer for the Sifu, they were in a hallway, and I was like, okay, they look like this is like they're jacking this straight out of Old Boy type of shit. But I think Tony, you're talking about the Raid Redemption, right?
Yes, that shit, that motherfucker, bow, floors and floors of just massive massacres. I'm like, yeah, that's what that shit reminded me of. And I also saw like when the dude died, that Sifu dude, when he died, he just got older. I don't know if y'all peeped that.
Yeah, that was weird.
Huh.
Yeah. Man,
Tony, have you seen Old Boy? Because if you haven't, I need you to go watch that movie.
I don't think I've seen Old Boy.
Yeah, you should go watch that.
Oh man, it's one of my favorite movies of all time. Probably my favorite movie of all time.
I'll definitely watch it the next
it's
pod.
Solid. It's a good one to show people too, because then the movie, like the credits roll, and they're like, "What in the fuck? Why would you show me that?"
Yeah. Just don't watch the Spike Lee remade the movie, and it's fucking dog shit. I would not spend any time watching it.
All right. Yeah.
So it should be on Netflix. It's a Korean movie, so you got to read subtitles. Doughy, have you watched Old Boy?
No, I haven't, but I heard it's really good. It's like a must watch.
I said homework for next week. We got to watch Old Boy.
I'm down, but you said not the Spike Lee one.
Absolutely.
It's not a Michael Scott exclusive.
No, it's not a Michael Scott exclusive. In fact, you should once somebody cut a whole compilation of all the lead up to the movie releasing, like the interviews with Spike Lee, and they keep asking him, like, "Hey, why is this movie so good?" And dude would give the most non-answers. They're like, "Yo, this guy seemed so not excited about this movie." It's like, it's very deep. It's very deep. And they're like, "Well, how is it different from the original?" Or like, You'll see it when you watch it. Trust me. Like, that was all he had to say. And the movie was fucking horrible. So I think the studios are just forcing him to go out there and fucking have these interviews. He had no fucking answers for this shit. It's like the Marshawn Lynch of fucking movie interviews. Like,
that's terrible. I liked some of his older movies.
Hell yeah.
The one with the black soldiers in the Italy. That was really good.
I don't know
like
what.
A World War II movie.
Yeah, the Miracle at St. Anna.
Yes,
damn,
that was good.
Did you guys now that I don't know. I don't think there's any other game on State of Play that I care about, I think we talked about all the major ones.
I mean, we didn't really talk about Kina. You guys brushed it off real quick.
I would like to go back up to that.
I really want to play that game. It's literally like a Pixar movie in a video game. I'm really looking forward to it.
It looked gorgeous.
Yeah,
gorgeous.
It's so cute. All the little creatures and all that. I don't know, man.
I knew that's what
really
Doughboy would like it too. Yeah. I knew Doughboy likes like little creature things. Like I already knew he would like that shit.
Yeah, it looks like a Pixar movie, like that you can play. I really thought that was the forest looks really beautiful. Every scene that was cut looks lush, and I love that. I really
lovely lush.
Are you saying that it looks cuter than Bug Snacks though?
I don't know. I never played Bug Snacks. That Bug Snacks does look very charming.
So I would say, having played a little bit of Bug Snacks, It's absolutely cute in the Bugsnax. Absolutely.
Oh
Yo, Bugsnax did such an amazing job selling itself as like with that trailer and that music. It was just perfect. And then in playing the game is cool. It just doesn't match the charm from that trailer.
What are you pointing?
That's the single right there. It's Bugsnax on vinyl sitting on my little record.
What the fuck?
Fire. That song is awesome.
That song was catchy as fuck, dude.
No, but that game does look pretty fucking good.
Who made that song? Was it Anamanaguchi or were they involved at all?
No, it's like some band called like Kiro or something like that.
Kiro.
Yeah,
I think it's
right.
The gameplay kind of cool in Kina as well. It looks like there are colorless areas, and then you like restore color to that area. It looked like it had a lot of Breath of the Wild type of gameplay.
I don't know. But yeah, that game.
I mean, that sounds cool. That sounds rad.
It seemed like it had those Breath of the Wild vibes.
Yeah.
That game does look good though.
Sure.
The little black balls.
Did they have straight up gameplay footage for that one? There were so many trailers, dude. There was so much shit that was released. I can't remember which.
They showed a little bit.
It's like maybe 10 seconds of gameplay just cut really fast, like switching back and forth. Basically, no gameplay. You can't fucking see it.
You got release date on your notes over there?
Oh man, let me see.
That $300 notepad.
Not for this one. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'd be curious when it's coming out. Like, if it's coming out soon and they only have like 10 seconds of gameplay footage, that's always a little.
No, I think it's like August.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's one I'll keep on my radar for sure.
I'm trying to figure out
Hot
what
Wheels.
What Hot Wheels?
There's a new Hot Wheels game coming out.
Trash.
That
I
I thought
ain't
was
talking
cool.
about that shit. That shit look trash. Don't bring up these trash games to our people.
Hot Wheels. I'll say one thing, all right? There was a Hot Wheels game on the N64, okay? And this game was fucking fire. Doughy knows I'm not a man about racing games, all right? This is just a straight up racing game. I played the shit out of it. You know what it did? What were there were a lot of games on the N64 that were I don't know. We could save this conversation for another day because we'll go into a whole fucking rabbit hole talking these N64
Exactly.
games.
Yeah. Because I had the N64 fucking. But what I was gonna tell you, Doughboy, did you watch WandaVision?
I want to talk about one more game.
Yeah.
I want to talk about one more game.
Go ahead.
There's this game called Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. It's a basically Jet Set Radio 2. Jet Set Radio Future 2. The same person that did the music for the first Jet Set Radio came back to do music for this game. Well, not came back. It was doing music for this
Wasn't
game.
it called Cyberpunk? Some shit?
It's called Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. Just like
Cyberpunk.
Jet Set Radio. It's just like 3 words. It kind of is like riding on the coattails of Jet Set Radio. It looks really, really good. They look like they got the aesthetic down. It looks like they got the rollerblading down. They have the sound down. So I am super excited about that game.
Is it the same kind of like cell shaded graphics and everything? Okay.
Yep.
Cell shaded graphics. Can you specify on that?
It's like
Zelda Wind Waker.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, okay.
It looks like a comic book panel. Like if you took like a screenshot, the comic book panel.
Oh, Borderlands is it cell? Okay, I didn't know that was the term for it. You put me on something. Okay.
Yep.
I have so much more.
We'll get to it though. Don't be so sad.
One more.
No. You sound like a drug addict. One more hit.
Because I have all this stuff written up. Well, I'll go through them real quick. I'll go through them.
Man.
You were killing me.
Right. Do one more.
One more for the P.
Motherfucking Elden Ring. Have y'all ever heard of this shit?
Never heard of that shit.
Motherfucking George R. Martin.
Who?
All right. I'm saying this all wrong. All right. From Software, George R. Martin making a game. All right. We're gonna have some sort of Demon Souls type of vibes. I did not realize that From Software are the people that made Armored Core games back in the days, and I loved Armored Core. It's one
Those
of
are
my
the best games.
yeah.
They're best games.
Bad. Those games are like Ace Combat, where the story is just kind of like, what's going on here?
Mateo's the
Even a
worst,
good story
bro.
when you got big robots destroying each other, dude.
Exactly. But
Mateo's
yeah,
the worst.
I am excited for that combination. I'm so excited. A From Software game with a George R. Martin story kind of line. Super fire.
Martin needs to
For the
just go
people that don't know,
and just finish writing those goddamn Game of Thrones books is what he needs to do. He needs to stop doing all this side project bullshit.
So go ahead,
Give us
Pooch.
an actual fucking ending.
You want to specify on who this person is? So everybody
no,
has
it's just Mateo already said it. Basically, he's the writer for the Game of Thrones books.
Yeah.
For the A Song of Ice and Fire books, for the people who would get pissed off that we call them the Game of Thrones books. I read them all. I call them the Game of Thrones books.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I need them to finish the series because they are in my opinion, the best book. They're the best books I've ever read, and it's a shame that it's been over, I don't know, damn near 30 years. He's still writing the series. He's still got 2 more books to go. And yeah, I feel like I'll be waiting the rest of my life to either never finish the series. So
No, Elden Ring, they've only released like aerial footage of like the environment, right? I think I saw a trailer and it was just like an environmental like flyover camera of like, this is the cool fucking world that's gonna be built in.
I did not see any. I only saw rumors of this.
I think they released something. Maybe I'm just imagining shit, dude.
I thought there was like a trailer for.
There may be one.
But have they shown us like actual footage other than like flyover?
It's like conceptual stuff. I don't think there's anything.
So for the listeners, can you explain this game a little bit, though?
Well, what we know the developer and we know the person writing the story. We know what Demon Souls is. We know what Armored Core is. We know what Dark Souls is. We know what Bloodborne is.
I'm just saying, like, what type of style gameplay is going to be? Because a lot of people.
So what Doughy's saying is we don't know what style of gameplay is. The only news we have is there's a game called Elden Ring. It's made by the Dark Souls developers. So it's Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Bloodborne. That group of developers, and the person writing the story is the writer who wrote Game of Thrones. So
I think it's going to be a Game of Thrones style Demon Souls type X cross.
Yeah. The one thing that I'm excited about is that having played Demon Souls, some Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Sekiro? I think Sekiro. I think the world that From Software builds is really cool, and there's a lot of lore and all of that stuff. I find that the stories are pretty shit. There's like no story there, and it's just it always feels shitty that they could build such an interesting place, and then there's no story that I can't care about this at all. They don't do anything to make me care about what's happening. The only thing that keeps me hooked is that the game is fun.
That's why they're bringing in your boy.
So hopefully, bringing in George R. Martin, they could blend what they do good, which is making fun games, and what George R. Martin sometimes does is right. I don't know what he does the majority of the time, but when he does right, he writes good shit. And I don't know. Hopefully, they could get together and make a game that's fun to play with the story that I could actually care about. So,
what does the RR mean in his name?
I don't know. Probably Robert is one of them. That's a common name.
Robert Ronald.
His initials is GRRM.
I think it's Roy.
Roy.
So
we call him Germ on the forums.
Ooh.
Germ.
Yeah. George Raymond Richard Martin.
This nigga got 3 first names. Actually, no, this man's got 4.
Martin. He has 4 first names.
Yeah. Damn. So, did everybody here watch the last episode of Wanda?
Yes.
It made me cry.
Damn.
I didn't like the last
That's the
episode.
thing.
Spoiler
like
spoiler
this
alert for everybody watching. We're about to get into WandaVision. Last episode. Spoiler alert.
All right.
It's
First
not the
thing.
last episode.
Oh, it's not the last. Sorry, yeah, it's not the
saying
last.
the previous episode?
the last episode that was just out. My bad. Previous episode. Sorry.
So what made you cry though?
I just feel like when you experience loss, and I think it did a good job of dialing that in. Like she missed him so much, and she was in so much pain from losing him that through her pain, she was able to, and whatever Infinity Stone she sucked into her, she was able to create through her. She gave life to somebody else, and I think a lot of people who grieve and like lose somebody, like that option, anybody would pick that. I'd lose an arm to bring my brother back. You know what I mean? I'd give a leg up just to, you know what I mean? It's just that really touched me when I saw that.
See, my thing about that whole, I didn't like the episode, but what I did like about the episode, it explains how she got the powers.
Does it?
Yeah.
I didn't feel like it did, but
Because I was always wondering, like, how the fuck did she ever have powers? I know she was in that Valve testings, but it never really showed it. This time, it actually fucking showed it. The fucking stone reacted to her.
There's a lot of theories about it because to actually go back to Pucho's points on previous episodes, there's a lot of rumors that this is the start, that this is confirming the existence of mutants in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because the episode basically showed that she had magic powers prior to the experimentation. When that bomb landed and Agnes was showing her that, she was like, "Oh, you cast a probability hex on it," and obviously we're all like, "What the fuck is a probability hex?" Like, but it's some kind of magic. She had magical abilities before she went into the experimentation.
I don't know if you noticed, but she was naming all the magic spells before she did them too. Like she kind of like was explaining what each magic spell did.
I don't think she had any magical powers. That shit.
She showed it when the bomb was on the ground. She did something. She put her hand out and did something to it. And then Agatha says, "Oh, you casted a probability hex." Basically saying, yeah, the bomb never went off. My understanding was whatever the fuck a probability hex does, it messes with the chances of something happening, I guess. So it made the bomb a dud, pretty much, is what I interpreted that as. And for sure, when she walks in that room, she looks at the scepter. They said, go and touch the Infinity Stone. She puts her hand out and the stone moves and comes to her. That showed some type of like telekinetic ability. Unless you think the stone did that on its own.
I think the stone did on its own because there was an image of some type of woman or
that was herself. I think that was a vision of herself from the future. I think that was her in full Scarlet Witch mode.
Scarlet Witch going into
really?
her, yeah.
That's what I thought. I thought it was a witch in that stone, and it just went into her. Like that's how I was like, okay, that's how she got her powers.
Her true self. I don't know. It gave her more powers, obviously, right?
It could. I think that's likely. I think it definitely boosted her powers. The way that I interpreted the episode is that she had powers prior to the stone, though, for sure. I guess it's if we were putting money on this and making bets or something, my bet would be that she had powers prior to that encounter with the Mind Stone. It's a Mind Stone, right?
No, I think it's a Soul
That
Stone.
was also the weird thing because it was blue. It was in Loki's scepter, which I thought was the Mind Stone. And then when it exploded, it was gold. It looked like the Soul Stone. So
Yellow, yeah.
What the fuck is going on here?
It was.
I didn't understand that scene at all.
I don't think that blue and Loki's scepter was the Mind Stone, was it?
It was blue. All the Infinity Stones have different colors.
No, I get that, but I don't think was his scepter always had the Mind Stone in it.
Yes, I think so.
Because then that doesn't make sense. Like, how the fuck does the Soul Stone be interlocked with the Mind Stone?
Well, the Soul Stone is separate. The Soul Stone is the one that you have to.
You have to give up somebody you love to get it. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if we're going through, so you're telling me that these fucking these Nazi guys or whatever, Hydra, had both stones.
No, they had the Tesseract.
Okay,
The
but
Tesseract, which is the Space Stone, I think, because that's the one that teleported Red Skull off into the universe.
It's weird. So you think Red Skull came back, gave him the Soul Stone? Like, I don't know. I'm so
they got the Soul Stone when he pushed Gamora off. Like that's when they finally got the Soul Stone. Is when he killed Gamora, when Black Widow sacrificed herself. Like that was the only time that the Soul Stone came.
I get that.
The stone that's in Vision is the Mind Stone.
No, I know.
Are we for sure that that's Loki's staff?
Yeah, it is. It's been 100%.
Which is tying this world to Thor's world. Like I saw the other day with beautiful, beautiful Kat Dennings. We didn't get to see her this episode. I like her.
But what I'm saying is, Mateo, in that time frame, her being into these tests, I'm saying both stones were there. How the fuck did both stones get there if that's the case? You know what I'm saying?
I think at that time, the Tesseract would have. Where would the Tesseract have been? Because they used the Tesseract in the first Avengers movie.
Yeah, and
where does it end up after that movie? Man, the time frame of where these stones jump around to is confusing.
That's why I'm trying to keep up with it. I'm trying to.
But when it was even unclear to me when she was in that room and during like.
It was before
what timeline,
she had.
Like what time frame is that?
It was
her parents died in '99, I think. That's when the bomb landed and blew up her parents. So maybe like 10 years later. Because
so it's super recent then.
Yeah, she looked like she would have been in like her late teens, early 20s or something. It was what I guess the time frame would have been for that.
Yeah.
Them showing all the source material for where she gets the sitcom ideas was really cool too.
Yes, that was super awesome. That's what everyone was assuming. They were like, maybe Wanda just really loved old school American television.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the confirmation was cool.
Also, I like Agnes's character. Her acting, everything is spot on. Even right before the witches were about to kill her, she's like, I bent the power to my will. She just kind of doesn't give a fuck. She's just kind of an asshole. Like,
yeah, it makes her a badass for sure. And
I like her.
And the fact that she's even stronger than Agnes is crazy. She just hasn't unlocked her power.
Is she for sure the big bad in this though? I'm still not convinced that there's not someone else pulling her strings or some shit.
I'm not convinced that she's the baddest one, but she's up there. And I don't think anybody's pulling her strings.
Something's going on with that rabbit. Something is going on with Senor Scratchy for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm with Tony. I didn't love this episode too much. It was I don't know. It feels like it didn't explain enough. Like even though it explained too much almost. I don't know. It's like you see kind of like her story, like her backstory or whatever. I thought it was cool they showed you the backstory to Agatha.
Mm-hmm.
She's the Salem witch trial shit. I thought that was cool. I don't know. Like, are they basically just saying like, she got this crazy power through grief?
It unlocked more. Like, I think what they're saying is that through her depression and her grief, that it awakened even more of her powers that she doesn't even realize that she really has. Almost how like in X-Men when fucking what's her name?
Great.
Yes, thank you.
Yep.
Like so much pain and hurt just unlocked it, and now that she's using it, she has no idea like how it's all happening. And then when she finally like gets a hold of her powers, that's when she becomes what she saw in the stone during testing.
Yeah.
She's gonna be
there
a
were
badass.
two interesting things I think in the episode. The second I think interesting thing was why did Agatha say, "Oh, you're just a myth"? Like so you're the Scarlet Witch. And I'm like, what the fuck does even that? Doesn't everybody know she's Scarlet Witch? Like
They've never used that term prior to this.
Never. This is the first time.
Yep.
This is the first time.
Okay.
Wow.
So we've just the fandom. We've all just called her Scarlet Witch because we know.
Yep.
Well,
I mean, it's like her brother, Pietro. Like they never call him Quicksilver.
Never.
Really?
But you know that's who he is. You know that's his character. But yeah, they never call him Quicksilver.
So the first time it's actually
what's
introduced.
chaos magic?
But I mean, they don't explain that for sure. But I mean, that's kind of like the Avengers thing, though, right? Like, there's a lot of like grounding in reality. Like, they're not out on the field like fighting and calling, you know, Captain America all the time. They call him Rogers or Steve, or, you know, it's they give that feel of, I don't know, that feel of them being like coworkers more than like just superhero entities.
Yeah. Only like the fanboys will call them by their superhero name, and the people they actually work with would be like Stark, not Iron Man, or you know what I mean, Bruce, not fucking Hulk.
It makes me think of that scene in I forget if it was Endgame or Infinity War, where Spider-Man is meeting Doctor Strange, and Doctor Strange he's like, "Hey, I'm Peter Parker." He's like, "Doctor Strange." He's like, "Oh, we're using our made-up names." Well, I'm Spider-Man.
Yeah. That's fucking funny. I forgot about that scene.
Yeah. Man, Spider-Man has the best fucking quips. They're the best. So there was another thing that I found interesting was in the second episode or so, the general dude shows Monica like footage of, look, Scarlet Witch broke into Sword and stole Vision's body.
Mm-hmm.
And then we find out that she didn't do that at all, and that she just created Vision with like her mind, which is probably why he started to get torn apart when he left the Hex, as he could probably only exist in there.
I thought that was interesting. I also read, I usually read like a bunch of like episode reviews and Easter eggs after these episodes air, because that's the kind of person I am. I want to know all the shit that I missed and like that other nerds have put together for me. I didn't see a lot of articles that actually reference that whole lack of continuity there, where it, I don't know, there were a lot of articles that didn't even mention that. And that was the first thing I noticed. I was like, wait, she didn't steal the fucking body. So
right. They even made a big point of it, which I don't know. I found it odd, mainly because what I always try to think about, right, is not necessarily how the viewer is supposed to view this scene. It's like, what do the characters in this world, how are they supposed to react to this, right? So like the general showed this to Monica. For what reason? I couldn't really pinpoint.
To manipulate her to go.
But like how?
To
if
do
he
the
was,
mission.
well, yeah, but if he was gonna wheel out Vision just a couple days later, like, actually I lied, I built his body. What if Monica went along with him? What would have been, like, he didn't know that she would be against him. So like, what would be the purpose of lying like that if he was gonna turn around and just own up and just own it? Like, actually I was recreating Vision.
Doesn't seem like he was gonna own up with everything. It seemed like he was lying the whole entire way, like, to her.
No, for sure. I'm saying though, what if he tells her, "Yo, let's do this mission," and she agreed, and she just like followed his orders,
and that they would have succeeded.
And then a couple days later, he wheels out this body. Oh, actually, I was rebuilding Vision. What would have been the significance to lying to her? I don't know. It feels weird. I don't know. Maybe, I had a hard time like accepting that.
Maybe the wheeling out of Vision is just a last ditch effort, because you know the Hex expanded and he lost like 90% of his team and all that fun stuff. Like maybe that wasn't a plan. Maybe that wasn't part of his plan.
I also like how they use that.
They also reference that when Kat Dennings hacks into the server. I keep calling it.
Why does Doughboy's voice change? He's like, yeah, they also referenced that when Kat Dennings was going through the files. And I'm like, gee.
The man gets all radio voice.
Serious Hollywood crush here.
Yeah.
I do like how they used the drone. Did you see how the drone that they had, they used their power to charge up their shit? Vision. Like, I was like, damn, how like how, I was like, that's crazy. So he did that purposely, knowing that, or maybe it was an accident. He was like, yo, we can use this to charge up our Vision.
Yeah, because he says right before, he's like, we've tried every battery we could find.
Yeah, I didn't catch that. What'd they do?
So remember that drone that they sent in, and then she's pretty much sent it back. It still had her power, her source of energy on it. So they used it to get their Vision up and going, because they tried every source of that they had normal, but they needed the power from her to get it going.
Wait,
Also,
wait. I got a question too. Now that Kat Dennings is in the Hex, who do you think she's gonna turn into mutant wise if she does turn into a mutant?
she is a mutant now.
I mean, she's gone through the Hex once. I think she's gonna be like Jubilee or something.
Or like a female version of Beast.
No, I hope not. That's gonna might be hot on like some furry things, like some furry stuff.
Yo,
All right.
I'm done with this guy, bro. What's up with this man?
So, yeah, I don't know if everybody who goes through the hex necessarily will get powers. I don't know. I thought I'm with Mateo. It definitely seemed like Wanda had her powers prior to interacting with the stone. And so far in the MCU movies, the only people who have powers innately are like the gods, which are like Thor and Loki. And I don't know, all those guys in Asgard and shit like that. Beyond that,
and the Inhumans that they're going to bring in, I think those guys have some kind of mystical power thing.
Yeah, I think that some of the aliens definitely have something, but they're aliens, so they don't count. They like Thanos, right? He has like super strength. He has some other powers beyond, like, he doesn't necessarily need to have the Infinity Gauntlet. Like, he's a powerful being all on his own.
Yeah, I mean, he took on with just his fist, beat the shit out of him.
Right. So yeah, it's kind of interesting that they're basically saying like Wanda had her powers prior to encountering the Mind Stone, which means that she's the only human that we know of that's in the MCU that somehow has her powers innately. Which is how the X-Men are. They're mutants, right? So again, like, you know, like Mateo already mentioned, that I've mentioned before, which is I think they're trying to bring in mutants into their world somehow. Although they're gonna have to figure out, I don't know. Dude, it'll be hype as fuck if fucking what the fuck is Reed Richards? He fucking just sort of appears like, yeah, you know, I just came from another universe or something like that. And
that rumor may not hold out because you would think that they would have already popped him in. I don't think he's going to pop in the last episode. Although there is some like interview with Paul Bettany, who plays Vision, where he mentioned that there is someone that he got to work with on WandaVision that he's been wanting to work with his entire life.
Damn.
And
is it Magneto? Right? That guy's old. I forgot the actor's name, but he's awesome.
Could be Sir Patrick Stewart.
Oh yeah. Yeah. What is this? Ian something?
Ian McKellen.
McKellen, right? Yeah.
I have a theory on.
Yeah, so there's going to be some big review in next episode, unless he was just talking about maybe he's like Doughy, maybe he just wanted to work Kat Dennings all his life.
That's sick.
No, but you know what? That guy played my favorite Star Trek captain too. The guy, the
Patrick Stewart.
Professor? Yeah,
everybody's favorite Star Trek captain. Nobody's real Kirk fans. Everybody's down with Jean-Luc. Captain Jean-Luc Picard.
Make it so.
You gotta hear that song.
Also
Jean-Luc Picard, Captain. USS Enterprise, Captain.
Yo, I have a theory on Vision, and so just follow me here. I could be doing some shit, but I was putting shit together.
Reddit theories and tell us it now. Vale.
No, I don't even go on Reddit like that. But I think Vision's gonna come back to life.
Oh yeah,
right.
He did.
No, I think with the metal Vision and this Vision.
No, like the same Vision.
Metal Vision, fake Vision. They're gonna fuck and they're gonna have a new.
Oh yeah, hells yeah. I think
I'm talking about the original Vision with the Soul Stone in his head, or the
Mind Stone. Sorry, that they just powered up.
No. All right. So what I think is gonna happen is that during this fight or whatever, I think Agnes knows of the stone or know where its whereabouts because she wants the power for her fucking self. So by trying to find out everything with Wanda Wanda and trying to see like how'd you get this, or like you're the myth, all this, I'm here thinking in my head like she knows probably where this power is at, this stone is at, and she's trying to figure out and put pieces together in her own head by playing her past and seeing like where and how and what she did to become so strong, because she wants that power for herself. That's why I also think that she doesn't have a boss. She's acting on her own fucking accordance. So when that stone comes, that's where Wanda will probably fight her and Vision, the new Vision, the white Vision, should you say. And the stone will be there, and she'll probably be like, I can bring my love back to life.
I don't think either of the Visions has a stone. I don't know. I'd be surprised if the stones actually play a factor in this finale for WandaVision. Honestly, if Agnes knows where any of these stones are in this new convoluted time frame with this time heist they did in the last movie, like fucking she deserves the stone, because I have no idea. Like they returned him to their original spot in the timeline, but then the events of Endgame happened, and where the fuck are the stones now?
Strange still got his.
I felt like
No, Captain America returned him to the timeline. Remember, that's why he went and did the final like time loop.
He put it all back where they were originally. So Doctor Strange still got his stone. If we're going off of that, Doctor Strange still got it. Thor and them still got one.
But where would that scepter be now in the new modified time loop of timeline of this? Like I don't know. Like
Thor.
I can't for the life of me figure out where these things would possibly be.
The scepter would be with Thor, and the Soul Stone would be back on that fucking planet, right?
Would it? Because Asgard is destroyed. So if they went and gave it back to,
but he went back in
Thor.
time.
But is Asgard still destroyed? Like,
it's a problem with parallel universe and time travel and all sorts of shit, man. Shit gets really.
That's why I think they kept it very simple with the sitcom stuff in this show. I think they just wanted to make it lighthearted and not very.
Nah, fuck that.
Serious.
People like us who fucking watch the show and who keep up with some of the stupid shit, or like people like Pucho and Mateo who keeps up with the comics. Nah, you better explain how this bitch got here and that shit got there. That shit better be explained, because
now you've got me curious. After this, I'm gonna go and fall into some like rabbit hole of trying to figure out where the fuck the Infinity Stones
like they're gonna
now.
bring back Vision, the normal Vision, the robot Vision, and this made up Vision that she did. They're here.
I think she's gonna do some. I think she's gonna do some magical shit where she's gonna do the cross that Doughy keeps talking about. She's gonna combine his mental capabilities into that new Vision white body.
And if she's a witch, right? She is a witch. She's She's right now the most powerful witch without even.
Didn't Agnes seem very worried when she found out? She's like, "Oh no!" Like she even sounded like she had to be stopped.
No, yeah.
She says it. You're too powerful. You don't know the power that you have.
And that's what I'm saying. Like Agnes has been searching for this power, because it looks like she's always been power driven. Like when she killed her mother and those other witches, like it showed like she's always wanted this power. And
I'd say those witches killed themselves.
Yeah.
Just stop blasting her with magic, dummies.
Yeah, she flipped it. She flipped the fucking power on her ass.
All your homies die and you decided to go out with them. Like,
yeah,
that was pretty dumb.
And then fucking, so that's why I think she's not on anybody's payroll.
Also, doesn't it look like she used the soul stone that she absorbed to create Vision in the first place? It was mad golden yellowish.
It certainly what it looked like. But again, it was the Mind Stone. That's what I'm confused by. Even when she created Vision, her power starts off red, but then when it starts creating Vision, it's like a golden aura is like going into Vision, which is the same aura that existed when that Mind Stone like shattered that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you're right. It was like a bluish color stone.
It's literally the Mind Stone. It's in Loki's staff, like his scepter.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying.
Is maybe this saying that all stones have equal power? Like you can use every stone for each element or whatever?
Nah. I don't know what they're saying, but I know that's not right.
Yeah.
Like each stone grants a certain type of if harnessed if you're able to harness the power of the stones, they all manifest themselves in different ways.
Green is time.
Yeah.
Yellow is soul, life. Blue is mind control, the ability to control things. The red one was, I forgot what the red one was.
Was it not power? I don't know what the fuck.
I don't know what the red one was. Yeah, we went mad that I don't even fucking remember it by heart. But what I was trying to get at is that the stone that she saw during the test is what I say the soul stone. Simple. It's the only yellow one there, right? But it was inside of the mind stone scepter of Loki, or maybe that was never that. I don't know. But I feel like the soul stone powers are embedded in her. Maybe, right? Follow me down here. Maybe she doesn't even need the soul stone. Like she has the power of the soul stone, and she can herself bring back Vision to life. She don't need the fucking stone. She is the stone in a way. You know what I mean? Like her whole thing is that she has the power of the stone, and that's why she's so strong, because that shit went into her when she reached for it.
Definitely seemed like she resurrected him in some way or some form.
No, she did. In her own little bubble, she did. But it's temporarily. I'm saying that when she fights with Agnes, because they're going to fight, because Agnes wants that fucking power. That's the only reason why she's there, playing nice until she can figure out how she can get close and get what she needs. So that's why I'm thinking the Soul Stone is somewhere around there, or Wanda herself is the Soul Stone, and she has to kill Wanda to get it.
Absorb her somehow, yeah.
Some way, somehow, right? So, and if she's that strong, then she could definitely bring back Vision to life.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. This next episode better fucking answer some of these stupid ass theories and questions that I have, though.
I'm so fucking confused right now.
On what?
Well, because I just did, for one, I put up two fingers when I said one, because I do have two things. So I'm confused about two things. For one, I find because we were just talking about the stones again, and we got a little confused, and so I started looking online, and there's different lists say different things. Some say there's 6 stones, some say there's 5 stones, and then they're like reordered, where like the yellow is the soul stone sometimes the yellow is the mind stone, and the blue is the space stone. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? All these stones are scrambled around in different lists. I wonder if they like rebranded them in the movies from what they were actually defined in the comics for some reason.
You got to go off of Marvel, like Endgame, like you got to go off the movie. Don't go off the comics, because they probably did rebrand them.
Yeah, this is
which is stupid.
weird.
You should follow the comics.
And then I guess the other thing that I'm confused by is the people who made the Marvel movie say the stones are destroyed, but that they're restored in the other timelines. But they're destroyed in the current timeline.
Yeah.
So like what we're watching, the stones are gone. They're completely destroyed. They got destroyed in Endgame.
Yep.
But I don't,
because those events still took place.
Right. What I don't understand, and then I guess Captain America put the stones back where they belong in the other timelines where they stole them from.
Okay, that makes sense then. So there's no Infinity Stones anymore.
No.
Right. The only way you could get it is by someone who could hop between parallel universes or whatever. So like Doctor Strange would probably be the only person that I could think of off the top of my head
Or Ant-Man.
Or Ant-Man, who have access to hopping through parallel timelines to, grab things. So yeah, I don't know. I found Agatha. I don't know. I'm still a little confused by her motivations. It seems at first, maybe I guess it was just like morbid curiosity. She was drawn to this use of power, so then she went there, and then she's trying to figure out what's going on, and then now I guess it's her. She figured out what's going on, and she's like, "Oh man, she's too powerful. I need to kill her." I don't know.
Or she just wants to suck up all her magic. Snack your magic, yo.
No, yeah,
magic snacks.
There's definitely some shit with that because I think this next episode they're going to battle or Wanda's gonna look at her and be like, okay, you are the enemy. Like where's her fucking kids?
She's literally got her kids hostage, so she knows she's the enemy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
or they all unite against White Vision.
Right.
Like maybe that's what happens because you got who are all the superpowered people you got in there? You got Monica. You got Scarlet Witch. You got Agnes. You got
the fake Vision.
Fake Vision or real Vision or
animated Vision.
You want to call them?
The bubble Vision or the Hex Vision, you can say it.
Maybe Pietro. Maybe
Pietro's not there no more though.
He's still there. He was in that teaser from the episode before this one.
Yeah, that was the other thing that annoyed me was basically if you look at the previous episode, Monica got her powers. She fought Scarlet Witch very briefly. She got thrown into a cellar by Pietro. And then Vision flies off to go home. And then
Kat Dennings.
she's still driving over to the house. And then this whole episode happens. I guess Vision's still flying over. Like, it's not clear, like...
Well, what happened to Monica? Because that's one thing I'm like, why don't Monica's bust through this basement door and be like ready to kick some ass again? Like,
well, if she fell into like an Agatha powered cellar, you saw that Agatha's power can negate powers. So like Wanda wasn't able to use her powers in that basement, right?
Oh, that's right.
And I mean, time doesn't necessarily matter because she's like exploring her mind, right? So maybe all this shit is happening in this like fucking snap of a finger, basically. Like,
yeah.
It's a superhero nonsense, man. There's a lot of rules you can break when you're doing superhero nonsense.
The superhero fucking nonsense was, hey, the kids are in the basement. She goes into the basement. There's no fucking kids.
Leading her into
and
a trap.
then she comes to, and all she hears, "Mom, Mom!" These fucking kids are crying. They're in the street, getting choked out by Agatha herself. It's like, wait, what the fuck just happened? It's stupid because it's like, if she was still down there, she could use her powers, and Wanda couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't she just kill Wanda down there if that's what she wanted to do?
She wanted to find out how she got the powers.
She's got a monologue, and she's got to do the.
No, I'm saying, yeah, exactly. She's about to do the Vision thing. No, she found out how she got her powers in the basement.
Yeah, that's
like
why she brought her down there.
What?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, but once she got that, and they find out how they got the powers, they left.
But Butch's point is, why did they leave the cellar though? Like after she found out how she got her powers, why not stay in the cellar where she can't use her powers and
because she still needs her. That's the only explanation. She still needs it for something.
Yeah,
I think it's because it's setting up the final battle. The final episode is going to be outside. Vision's going to come flying. The new Vision is going to get sent in, and it's all going to happen outside.
Right. You're explaining the motivations of the producers of the show. I'm trying to explain them. I'm trying to figure out the motivations of the characters in the show.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and maybe an explanation is like, she can't absorb Scarlet Witch's power without her actually using her power, so they have to leave the basement or something like that. But I mean, if her motivation is to kill her, she should have killed her in the basement where she cannot use her powers.
Mm-hmm. It's like the James Bond thing. Those James Bond movies would be real slow, or real. They would be over real quick if that villain was not like so into monologuing and explaining his plan and then setting some kind of like death timer and be like, and now I'm just gonna walk away now that I explain my plan.
There's a button over there. It could stop my entire plan if you get over there and use that button.
It's that Austin Powers thing with Dr. Evil's son. He's like, I've got a gun in my room. I can go get it right now. We can shoot him together.
And this whole bullshit.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to next week so we could kind of wrap up all this WandaVision talk and kind of
major cliffhanger. Ain't like that shit's gonna be terrible. Everybody's gonna be standing there ready to fight, and boom, end of the episode. I'm gonna be like, fuck this shit.
Yeah. There was one thing too, in the stone, right? I was like, if you go back and watch, I even rewinded it just to make sure I wasn't crazy. the figure, the shadowy figure that she's seeing through the stone. I mean, you guys mentioned that you think it's her. It to me looked like some type of thing with like horns on it, Ted. Like if you rewind it a little bit, I saw like horns, and I was like, man, is this Mephisto shit that fucking Mateo keeps talking about? Like who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
I'm still holding out for Mephisto, but I don't think it's gonna happen anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know. Definitely can't wait for Friday's episode though, for sure.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
And have to find a new show to start talking about, and having people have to skip through portions of our episode every time they watch.
No.
Yeah, for real. But nah, I don't know. It's definitely a good show. At first I was shitting on it, but it's a good show for sure. Can't wait for the movies to drop.
Solid. And next up is Winter Soldier and the Falcon.
Yeah, dope. Pucho's favorite character.
Nope. Apparently, I'm not sure what Tony's referring to, but
Last episode, you was all like,
I'm
excited to watch this Captain fake Captain
I said
America.
Felix. I said Felix is very excited to watch it. I'm not into these characters. What I thought was cool is that we have a black Captain America. I think that's dope as fuck.
Back. But yeah, I guess this is it for this episode. For everybody watching and stuff, man, I really appreciate your love and support, and continue to watch the episodes. And hit that like button and subscribe, man. That way you can stay up on top of our episodes when we drop them. And thank you again from us from the One Up Podcast. We appreciate all of y'all.
Thank you.
Peace, y'all.
Peace.